Alright guys, so you guys kind of missed the consultation, but pretty much what we're doing, we're gonna lower the sides a bit, do a taper. He wants to keep the C cup, and then a crop top. Take a little bit off the length, and we're gonna try to finesse the beard. He's got the struggle beard like me. We're gonna make it look good. We're gonna make it look good. Appreciate you, bro.
What's up guys, how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for tuning in. This is gonna be a transformation. I felt like this is gonna be a good cut. So we're gonna start off with block graduation. I'm pulling the hair down to his ridge to keep that length because we want to keep his haircut squared. So once we've done that all the way around, we're gonna go ahead and start to clear the bulk, and we're gonna use a number 3 in order to do that. Number 3 closed. And if you notice, I'm just going straight up with my clipper. I'm not following, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not following the shape of his head. And if you notice, by going straight up, it's kind of just connecting to that shear work we did. I know because I kind of cut past it, sometimes it looks like I'm cutting that hair off, and that's okay too if you cut some of it off, as long as you're going straight up. Alright, so we did the initial guideline on one side, now we're doing it on this side. And we're gonna go ahead and start our taper. Remember, he wants to keep his C cup. So we did our bald line, blade open, and now we're gonna go ahead and start to fade this section out. Now the one thing I wish I would have done, this is the first time I ever do a taper on this person, on this client. I wish I would have done his lineup, his C cup first, and I'll tell you why later. Alright, so number 1 open, then closed, and then we'll blend this section out with the half guard. Alright, next step, I'm going to use my 2 guard open. Remember, the highest guard we've used is a number 3. And right beneath that 2 open, we're going to follow it down with a number 2 closed. After that, right beneath where we just left off, we'll use our 1.5 guard all the way open and then all the way closed. And then beneath that, I always like to tie everything together with that number 1 guard open and then close it as needed. So you can see the taper right now without the lineup, it looks like a mid to high taper already. Watch what happens a little bit later on when I line it up, when I put the C cup on it. So there was a little bit of bulk here. I'm gonna go with my number 4 guard to connect some of that bulk. And now we'll go ahead and start to blend the beard in. Remember, he wants to keep the length of his beard on the sides. And because he has a struggle beard like me, I know that if he lets it grow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it looks like he has no hope. But so did my beard. I know my beard isn't like exactly the ideal beard, but it looks a lot better by letting it grow than it did when I was just trying to, you know, lower it and line it up. So I have forgot to cut the top length, so that's what I'm doing now. And I'm just bringing everything straight up. And the reason why it's important to bring everything straight up, even from the sides, as you can see here, is to maintain that square look. If we grab the hair and pull it up using the shape of his head, you're gonna give him almost a faux hawk look. And that's not the haircut we're trying to give him, or the look we want to give him. Now, in the fringe area, it's like darker, more dense in that area. So after I cut the top, what you'll notice is I'm going to go to the fringe area, and even this calic area, if you notice, I am following the head shape. And that's just gonna layer it a little bit more and give it a softer, less bulky look And you can see here, I'm taking vertical sections, and I'm following his head shape, pulling the hair 90 degrees out. And again, that's just gonna help me not have such a bulky look there in the front. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and taper this side, and we're following the same steps as before, except I'm going ahead and using my number 2 and clearing the bulk, and I'm gonna blend down. So right underneath that number 2 closed is the 1.5 guard, all the way open, just like we did on the other side, and then closed. Right beneath that 1.5 red guard closed, we're gonna use our number one guard all the way open, as you can see here, and then the number 1 guard closed, then the half guard, and then we'll fade out the bottom initial guideline. That's the one closed. This is the half guard. And you can see this side is looking like a medium to high taper as well. And it's really because of the lower density around his C-cup area. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take out this bottom line. We're all the way closed. We're gonna open little by little. And there it is. Taper is pretty much complete. Alright, so now let's go ahead and complete the back. We're going to go ahead and start with our initial guideline. We're going to bald them out. And now we're going to go blade all the way open. Remember guys, stay tuned so that you can see what I was talking about. Once we start to line them up, how the taper looks completely different after the lineup. Super important because I wanted to kind of talk about those details. So I used my number 3 guard there because I don't remember if I cleared the bulk all the way like this low. So I started off there, then the number 2 open, 2 closed. Now the 1.5 guard like I'm using now, 1.5 guard closed. And we're fading down just like we did the right side of his taper. 1 guard open, then closed. And then the half guard will be the final guard we use. And then we just gotta blend out that bottom line with the clipper closed, no guard. See that taper coming out blurry? And now I'm just detailing, especially these angles right here. All these angles, I like to make sure they look nice and clean before we go ahead and start to line it up. So, like I always tell you guys, my favorite part of the cut, man, this lineup section right here, especially on the neckline, because it really brings that blend together. It's funny because I was reacting to K-Kidness Randy's legendary first video, and it's the same angle he was talking about. In the video, and I was like, man, this is the part where it all ties together. Alright guys, so look, I'm gonna go ahead and start his C cup, and you're gonna notice right away it went from like a medium low, like a medium high taper to kind of like a mid taper, but it's gonna look so inconsistent on both sides, I feel like. And it could have been the lighting, but it just wasn't high enough in my opinion. I really wanted it to kind of pop. So after the lineup, I went back in to detail the taper, to spread it out a bit more so it popped a bit more. And honestly, if I would have just lined him up before I started the taper the first go around, I would have probably got the results I wanted off rip. But again, this is my first time cutting his hair, and now I know, I have a mental note, the next time I cut his hair, if he wants this taper, I'm gonna do the lineup first and then blend it. Same thing on this side. You can see this side looks really low. I think this side though was lighting, cause like look at the difference when you turn them to this angle. And I don't know if I turned the brightness up, I don't know if I messed with my camera settings, but it definitely looks higher here. And then watch when I turn the chair a little bit more. Check it out. Boom. It looks like a lower taper there. This is why lighting is super important. Framing your cut with the lineup is super important. But I learned my lesson on this cut, and next time we gonna dominate this cut. I genuinely think the taper is the same on both sides, and it's just lighting. But I already know in the comment section y'all gonna be like, stop making excuses, Chris. I promise that's not what I'm trying to do. And either way, the cut came out fresh in my opinion. So we lined up his fringe area. Most of that was overgrown hair. And so I just wanted to make it symmetrical, make his hairline look nice and full, and without pushing his hairline back. And so I think that we achieved that look here. And one of the things that I did with his fringe is I lined it up dry, and then I damped it a little bit with water, and then lined it up again, and then we'll let it dry some more, and then line it up again. Because his fringe is kind of like mine, where no matter how many times you line my fringe up dry, when I get in the shower or something like that and I look in the mirror, it's gonna look crooked. So it's good to do that. You can clean it up with scissors, or you could do it with the liners. It's up to you. Like, look at the taper from this angle. See what I'm saying? Look at this side from this angle. I gotta get the light above me fixed, because it's not on. Alright, so we're gonna enhance the cut. We didn't need to. Everybody calm down. We didn't need to, but I wanted to. I wanted to bring the cut to the next level, and enhancements do exactly that. Just like you use hairstyling products to enhance the texture of somebody's hair and it might wash out, same thing with enhancements. We're just enhancing the cut, man, and just bring it to that next level. My clients love it. Alright, after we enhanced it, and all I enhanced was the C cup area and the vertical bar. Everything else we left natural. I think that kind of complements each other without overdoing it. And now we'll put some texturizing powder, some volumizing powder you can get at tomb45.com. Guys, this is the before. If you like the cut, let me know in the comment section. Smash the like button. I'm always transparent with you guys and all my cuts and what I'm thinking. I got nothing to hide. This is not a highlight reel. This is, just trying to help you learn through my experience, man. So like always, if you like the content, definitely smash the like button. And we dropping daily content. Blinging.